Hello, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, every other wonderful outlet that gives me a voice and an audience and a bouncy falling camera. Well, I was gonna go to bed. Yeah, I was gonna go to bed, but we're back on the boogeyman principle. And to explain this to everybody here, one of the things that government does when they realize that a populace is becoming educated and aware enough to see through their bullshit is they create boogeymen. There's always that evil enemy out there that's gonna get you. Be it China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and now Vladimir Putin and Russia. They think you're stupid. And I'm particularly directing this at liberals because, you know, it's one thing to accuse Russians of rigging an election, well, let's do it this way, influencing a candidate. Because, let's be honest, everybody in Washington can be bought. Anybody. They've proven this time and again. And, oddly enough, one of those people, Bernie Sanders. Yeah. Go do some research on Bernie Sanders and see how much of a failure in life this man has been. And then he started sucking on the government tea. Now he has 1, 2, 3 houses. One he just recently bought after running for president. Who paid for that? So, liberals think that everybody is stupid. And if you don't believe this, they want to blame the failure of their candidate on fake news. They want to blame the failure of their candidate on foreign manipulation, particularly Russia and Vladimir Putin. If he really wanted to have influenced American affairs abroad, especially with Russia, wouldn't he have done it 4 years ago when Obama was up for re-election and gotten him out of office then? Especially since the candidates that were running that time were actually more friendlier to Russia than anybody that was running this cycle. So why wait till now? And then you get all these conspiracy theories of, Trump is a fucking Russian agent. I mean, come on, people. Seriously? This is how far denigrated we have become. This is how petty and pathetic. The news is no longer the news. It's a hybrid clusterfuck. Vanity Fair, the National Enquirer, the Globe, and a porn magazine. That's what it's turned into. This is the reporting that we do in this country. This is why, you know, watching the confirmation hearings of all of the people that are going to be part of Trump's, not earthquake, but that are going to be part of Trump's transition team. And you see some of them that are just questionable in experience. And, you know, this is where the partisanism in Washington really becomes repugnant because, frankly, he should be able to have an administration that's a mix of conservatives, liberals, libertarians, a whole mix, because we should be putting forward the best people for the job. And they should be able to put aside their partisan bullshit and step up and say, hey, I want to do the job. I think we can work together. But we don't do this in America anymore. It's all my side or your side, nothing in between. We don't work together. This is where we're at now. And I hope to God the rest of you out there can see through this and can kind of, you know, put aside your social media programming, because that's what this looks like. It literally looks like blasts on a Facebook wall. That's what it looks like. Trump's corrupt! Hillary Clinton's a god! God, fucking people. I swear to God. This is why, honest to God, politics was so much better when the internet didn't exist. Because This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And if we want to go on and on about espionage and spying, nobody brings up Snowden. Snowden committed espionage. He is protected by Russia, yet liberals laud him as a hero for, uncovering NSA spying. Obama hasn't pardoned him. Obama basically called him a traitor. Now you have Chelsea Manning. That now there's rumors swirling around that Obama is considering pardoning the tranny that also committed espionage and put thousands of people's lives in danger. But, nobody saying shit about that either, but whatever. Whatever. I just had to get this off my chest because this has been irritating the shit out of me. And while we're at it, too, Meryl Streep. The fact that anybody gives any blowhard in Hollywood attention for running their mouth about politics is pretty fucking pathetic. And I will say this. These are some of the most disconnected from society people you'll ever meet. They have no correlation with society in general. They don't. They can claim they do. And I'm not saying they're not human. They are. But they live in their own elitist bubble. Mostly out on the West Coast in California. They're in denial about how fucked up their own state is. California is home to, I think it's 5 of the largest gangs in the world, including 2 Mexican cartels. California is currently sitting, I think it's on a $16 billion deficit. The state is basically bankrupt. But this is their idea of utopia, and they're going to come out and lambaste the American public, MMA wrestlers, football players. I mean, they want to question diversity of the arts, but Hollywood's been around for, 120 years? They have made no effort to change their supposed bias in casting. Whether that exists or not is laughable, considering you've had black people, Mexicans, Asians winning Golden Globes, Emmy Awards, Oscars, Grammys. You can go on and on and on about all the accolades that people, minorities specifically, have gotten in this country. 2 of the top paid actors last year were black. So, this chronic, incessant need to push division and to push agendas that make no sense, that are founded in myths. As a society, we are one of the most integrated, mixed societies on the planet. Does it always work? No, of course not. Because, even though liberals don't want to admit it, we are different. We are very different. We may be DNA-based, same, but psychologically, socially, culturally, we are different. Because we all started with different legs up in different areas and expanded outwards and experienced different things, and you have isolated societies and integrated society. Liberals are in denial that some things just don't work, and when you try to force an agenda onto a people via legislation, via harassment, via shaming, it doesn't work. And, the other thing we need to get through is this irrational paranoia of all environmental regulations are going to be overturned, and all ethics overviews are going to be overturned, and all gay rights and black rights and minority rights and women's rights are going to be overturned. They're not, people. They're not. And if you were so worried about this, you would have kept the people that you thought represented you in the House and the Senate. But guess what? Over the course of the last 8 years, I think it's if I remember my figures right, it's like 1,300 seats in legislative in the legislative branch and on the state and federal level have been turned over to Republicans. So what does that tell you? A large swath of the country has had it. We've had it. We've had it. We're tired of being labeled as racists and homophobes and bigots and deplorables and uneducated rednecks. I mean, really, liberals are funny because they're the first ones to throw around derogatory terms when they don't get their way. And if you don't believe me, just watch any interview with a liberal. It's hysterical. They'll throw around the term redneck like, 80% of the country lives in fucking double-wide trailers. Last time I checked, no. And not for nothing, some of the double-wide trailers make some of the houses look like shit. I'd live in one, fuck it. So, yeah, whatever. Enjoy.